tell the whole story about how Allison Bales can affect the flow of the game out there for Gail Gestencourts. 379 wins, the national runners-up a year ago. In their 4th trip to the Final Four under Coach G. And Smith with the nice feed from Abby Weiner.
See, that's just too easy. A miscommunication on the defensive end, and you almost have to play perfect basketball if you're Virginia Tech to win this game.
Nice find. Haskins to Cook for the layup. The sophomore from Narrows, Virginia, has worked her way into the starting lineup where she's averaging 12 points per game and shooting at 50% from the floor. This is Abby Weiner, the former National High School Player of the Year out of Colorado. And Duke throws it away.
Well, Virginia Tech doing a nice job of defending the spread by Duke.
Beth Dunkenberger, her dream job, she has called this. She's from this area in her 3rd season on the Tech bench. They were in the NCAA tournament a year ago, advancing to the 2nd round, eliminated by Connecticut. Nice feed again, Jawara on the receiving end from Cook.
Okay, so we've spent all this time talking about the Blue Devil defense, and we haven't seen it yet.
They're getting smoked right now. Good execution by Tech. Monisha Smith, Weiner. They go with the 3-guard lineup with good ball handlers. Harding, who is looking for her shot more this season, was a distributor during her first 3 years.
Right now, Virginia Tech has Duke going side to side offensively. Nothing penetrating toward the basket, off the dribble or with a pass.
Harding. Virginia Tech getting numbers back defensively. Harding pulls up and sticks it anyway.
Much better shot right there by Harding than the prior 2. In transition, past the free throw line, jump, stop, and stick it.
7-6, Blue Devils on top early. Amber Hall's pull-up is short. The Tech women trying to match what the Tech men did this weekend with their stunning upset at Cameron Indoor Stadium.
How about that? Seth Greenberg and the guys knocking off the Blue Devils at home in overtime.
Very inspirational for the Tech women's team. A lot of the players said they were watching and they were all fired up to try and do the same. It would be an even bigger upset today.
Yes, it would.
Copeland off the bounce, in traffic, and the nice finish around Bales.
Copeland is as good as any guard in this league off the bounce. So quick to the basket. We talk about poise and patience for Virginia Tech. Boy, they are showing that on the offensive end early.
They are attacking.
They're coming off a gigantic loss to North Carolina, and Beth Dunkenberger told us yesterday that helped prepare her team.
The takeaway by Weiner, and Harding, count it, and she's fouled. Big defensive play by Weiner, and they quickly converted into points.
That's the kind of defensive play that Duke needed to generate a little energy and some emotion. They looked flat early in the basketball game.
They've got the lead just underway.
My neighbor drove all over town to find the best deal on a cell phone. I just logged on to Let's Talk. They make it easy to compare plans from all major carriers and find cell phone deals that are much cheaper than retail.
Like the hot Motorola Razr with Bluetooth technology, a $319 value, yours free after rebate with new singular calling plans.
Let's Talk has the best prices, the best plans, and the most free phones guaranteed.
Log on to 21letstalk.com or call now to order your free Motorola Razr. Let's Talk, the smart way to shop for cell phones. So log on or call now.
Working from home changed my life.
It all started when I was referred by this free service.
With all the money I made working from home, I bought a new home. This is the one website you have to visit.
Put your computer to work now.
All you need is a computer and a little belief in yourself.
I'm making $5,000 a month.
I make over $7,000 a month working part-time.
I love the lifestyle my home business offers, and the money's great too.
Log on to 11newfuture.com now.
Heisman winner Troy Smith leads the unstoppable Buckeyes. But the Gators are ready to shock the world. The Tostitos BCS National Championship, Monday, only on Fox.
College basketball hits the hardwood on Fox College Sports. It's a Pac-10 showdown as Oregon looks to continue its dominance in the desert when they battle rival Arizona State. Thursday on Fox College Sports.
This presentation of ACC Women's Hoops on FSN is brought to you by Food Lion, Pepsi, Alltel, and by Geico. Back here inside Cassell Coliseum, time for a look at the Pepsi game plan.
Well, we're talking about offensive execution for Duke. We know how good their defense is. Let's see if Virginia Tech can get the tempo where they want it so they force Duke to execute. And then the Virginia Tech team, poise and patience against this trapping, overplaying, aggressive defense. If they can show the skills in taking care of the basketball, they're going to continue to gain confidence. And they look like a confident team early in the game.
And they are shooting 57% from the floor. Remember, nobody has shot over 40% against Duke all year. Out of the timeout, Duke will change up the D.
They are constantly changing their defensive look. This is a half-court trap.
Reach-in foul will be called on Bridgette Mitchell, freshman from Trenton, New Jersey.
And Mitchell, long and athletic, on the weak side of that trap before the reversal.
This is a vastly different looking Duke team than the one that played for the national championship a year ago. They lost Monique Curry, Jess Foley, Misty Williams to graduation, and then Shante Black is out with a knee injury. She has been all year. They have not yet made a decision as to whether or not she will redshirt or she may try and come back to try and help them win a national championship later this year.
I think this is a more athletic Duke team. I think even with Allison Bales, who's dropped some weight and is lighter on her feet, Abby Weiner has put on some more muscle and has made herself quicker in the offseason. They're a little bit faster.
They are not scoring as much as last year's team did, but they are actually rebounding slightly better, and the defense is giving up 13 fewer points than last year's team. Only 45 points a game for the opposition. Copeland looking to bear in on Weiner, draws the foul, and she'll head to the line.
Well, Copeland off the bounce, going right is strong. Duke's got to make her go left.
Kirby Copeland hits on the first. This is one thing that Tech really wants to bear down on here as we get into ACC play. They are not a good free throw shooting team. And it has already had an impact in their Radford loss earlier this year, which was a 7-point defeat. They missed 12 free throws in that game.
You've got to do all the detailed things when you get to conference play because everybody knows everybody's system. They know their personnel. There's no surprises.
Foul's going to be called on Kirby Copeland.
We saw Kirby before the game. We were talking to her about her ability to do everything on this team to help them. Right there, she does it. She reaches instead of moving her feet on the help. Well, she does everything for this team, Kirby Copeland. She was even bringing the ball rack in before the game. She scores. She leads them in assists. Copeland is a very good guard that Beth Dunkenberger has been able to build some of her offensive philosophy around. You got to have a good guard in this league if you're going to compete because there are a ton of great ones.
She is the only returning starter. In fact, they did not return a double-figure scorer this year. They had massive losses with the graduation of Dawn Criss, Carrie Garden, Carrie Mason, and Megan Finnerty. 4 starters gone from a year ago.
So when you have a young team, you have some inconsistencies, and I think that's what we've seen out of Virginia Tech early, based on their numbers and based on some of the tough losses they've suffered early.
Virginia Tech will push the other way with Brittany Cook.
See, look how Harding, when she gets somebody to the side, Beth, I want you to watch how she turns her shoulders to the sideline and keeps you on one side. You got to guard Cook. You got to guard her. I mean, she is feeling it right now. She told us before the game she is not intimidated by the Blue Devils, and she also told us she's never beaten them. She would love to get a W at home in her senior year.
Carrying a big load as the leading scorer, leading the team in assists and also tops in steals for the club this year.
Nice pull-up jumper. Again, there's Bales who rotates out, but Copeland knows because she goes against a shot blocker every day in Jawara that you have to pull up early and you cannot get too deep or over penetrate. You got to have a really good medium range game to be able to beat Duke. Because if you get too deep, Allison Bales is going to swat everything.
Copeland will take a break as Haskins comes on. Juanisha Smith, the junior from Upper Marlboro, Maryland, is at the free throw line. She leads the team in assists this year as Lindsey Harding has tried to take on more of the scoring load and is shooting more this year.
I think Juanisha has really worked hard at getting better off the dribble, looking for that to be her strength instead of shooting the three so much. You know, that's a player for Gail Gesson, of course, that started her freshman year as a point guard.
This is a terrific defensive unit right here to go full court with the 4 guards and then Bales in the back.
Now you got 2-on-1, you have to attack.
Cook lost the handle. Haskins spotting up for the 3, no good. Long rebound to Harding.
Harding catches the loose rebound and looks up the floor right away. 1 dribble and Duke is at the basket.
Mitchell can't convert the lay-in at the other end. Thrown away by Tech.
And that's the poise and patience that we talked about. Biggs knows the pressure's coming. She can sense the trap is coming. You've got to hang on to that dribble. Just 1 more bounce before you try to lead that pass ahead.
Bales goes out. We're tracking not only her blocks, but how many shots she alters today, and she has changed 3 Hokie shot attempts already. Just with her presence.
Well, yesterday, you and I got a chance to see 6'9" Alyssa DeHaan, the top shot blocker in the country at 6'9" for Michigan State, just a freshman. And they both are very good. Both have a chance. Well, Bales already has the ACC all-time shot blocking record. I mean, she's already proven she's a terrific shot blocker.
Interesting, talking with the Maryland players, they said, we're ready for DeHaan because we saw Allison Bales 4 times last year. Used to that size. You could almost call this a 5-guard lineup on the floor right now for Duke as Gay has replaced Bales.
Well, they go small, and that means they get quicker, and that means that they're going to trap more.
5 Virginia Tech turnovers forced thus far. 17-12, Duke on top. Cook. Now Dry. Out to Brentnall. As Beth Dunkenberger going to her bench too to keep some fresh legs out there. Eleanor Brentnall, the freshman from Australia, keeps it alive.
Yeah, Beth Dunkenberger had a lot of positive things to say about her yesterday. She has a chance to get really some great experience in the league and really elevate her play as the season wears on when she gets used to the speed of the game.
Brentnall whistled for her first foul. Lindsey Harding directing traffic. Weiner over the back foul. Abby Weiner is now 0 for her last 10 3-point attempts over the last 3 games. As Duke continues to struggle really to find the range from outside this year.
I think that's a concern for the Blue Devils. You know, do they have a consistent 3-point threat? Certainly Abby Weiner is very capable. Her sister Emily has hit a 3 in the last 10 straight games. So there are some 3-point shooters out there. Harding has worked on improving hers as well. But what Duke's gotten really good at this year, Beth, is off the dribble. They get into the free throw line more than they did last year.
They've made more free throw attempts made more free throws than their opponents have even attempted. Utah Dry turns it over. Duke in transition. Harding with the burst. Lays it up with the right hand on the left side for 2.
See, that's where Duke has been able to extend their leads and to pull away from teams with their defense. But Copeland is not afraid at all, and she knows without Bales in there, she can go all the way to the basket.
3 for 4 now, Debbie, with 8 points for Kirby. Meanwhile, the Blue Devils have forced 7 turnovers. They have scored off of 6 of those. Harding spinning. Haskins with the rebound.
Yeah, this is exactly what Virginia Tech wants. They've done a very good job on the glass so far. They are actually out-rebounding the Blue Devils 10-4 right now. They've not given Duke any second-chance opportunities.
Anderson fouled inside by Harding, and Brittany will go to the free throw line. When we come back, Duke leading Virginia Tech, but the Hokies playing aggressive and attacking the basket.
Gatorade Sports Science Institute. We test athletes in the lab. Because we know they'll be tested on the field. Gatorade, the most tested sports drink on the planet.
Nothing draws a neighborhood crowd together like the big game or the big race. And the best place to catch the action is right from your own living room. Food Lion is happy to help keep your home concession stand stocked all season with a fantastic variety of delicious foods at prices that will have you cheering. Food Lion, good neighbors, great prices.
Why does that bother you?
Why does it bother me? So easy a caveman can do it?
Well, it's just a commercial.
Okay. Well, what if it said Geico.com, so easy a therapist can do it?
Well, that commercial wouldn't make sense to me.
Why not?
Well, therapists
Are what? Smart? My mother's calling. I'll put it on speaker.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
19-14, Duke with the lead over Virginia Tech. ACC college hoops action. And for the Hokies, Kirby Copeland off to a good start.
Well, Copeland is strong off the bounce, takes it right to the baseline and finishes off the glass. Without Allison Bales in there, you can attack the rim, you can get inside. Copeland not intimidated by the Blue Devil defense at all. She's a player that has had so much experience and the most experience playing Duke on Virginia Tech's roster.
And we're seeing, Debbie, even though the numbers are so good for Duke, why Gail Gestencourt says, you know what, we can still get a lot better. Some fissures in the defense right now with Tech shooting 54% from the floor here in the early going. Brittany Anderson at the line, the senior from right here in Blacksburg.
I think when you get to conference play, things tighten up a little bit. It's just what we described before about you're so familiar.
Anderson will take a break. Amber Hall back on. It's just a three-point game. Bales, the kick out to Lindsey Harding. Joy Cheek, the freshman from Charlotte, is also into the lineup for Duke, number 21 in blue. Bales, no good. Cheek with the offensive board. Cheek looking for the back door. We'll leave it off for Lindsey Harding. And Cheek couldn't handle it, lost it out of bounds.
You know, we've been talking about how good the Blue Devils defense is, and this might just tell you just how good Virginia Tech has been in taking care of the basketball. Look at this, their worst defensive game in the whole season, Beth. They're taking on number 22 Texas. Texas scored 52 points, and they shot 39.2. That is the best field goal percentage that any team has shot all season, and right now, Virginia Tech is 6 for 11.
They get the turnover. Copeland looking for Jawara, who couldn't hang on. Yeah, I mean, the closest anybody has come is Bowling Green. They lost by 9 points. Nobody else has finished a game within 20 points of the Blue Devils. So this is a good effort for Virginia Tech.
And it's not their schedule, so don't think they got a bunch of softies on there, because Gail Gestencourt's team is 5-0 against ranked teams. And they played those 5 ranked teams in a stretch of 6 games.
And they still have 4 games left against number 1 and number 2 in the country.
Yeah, welcome to the conference play. They've got the toughest schedule because they have to play North Carolina and Maryland twice, and nobody else has to do that.
And they finish up at Maryland and then home to Carolina back-to-back to end the regular season, which is brutal. By the way, their game against Maryland next Saturday almost sold out. Yep. They expect that the tickets will be gone by midweek. So if you want to get into Cameron, get your tickets now. That will be the first showdown of the Big Three this year in the ACC. Juanisha Smith, the pull-up baseline won't go.
And right now, Duke is not in sync, and you got to give some of that credit to Virginia Tech's effort on the defensive end. A good scout, an understanding of personnel, and doing a good job of executing.
Copeland had the shot blocked by Bales, and then Jawara is fouled on the putback. And that is number 2 on Lindsey Harding.
Weiner forces Copeland backdoor right into Bales because Bales has to rotate and help. She gets out of defensive rebounding position. That leaves Harding on the backside at 5'8", trying to guard 6'6". That's not going to happen.
So Harding with 2 fouls here, 9:09 to go in the first half. And she will depart. I believe the only game she has ever fouled out of was the championship game last year in overtime against Maryland. So she may be done for the remainder of the first half here. Jawara just 61% from the line, knocks down the second.
So Emily Weiner will run the point because I was waiting to see who Coach Gestencourse was going to put there. Juanisha Smith could do it, so could Abby Weiner.
Crowd now starting to feed off the Hokies. They're down just 1 under 9 minutes to go here in the first. And trouble for Duke with their starting point guard out of the game.
5 turnovers for the Blue Devils. And I don't think Coach Gestencourse has gotten off her seat yet, Beth, so she must think that they're okay right now.
ACC College Hoops, Duke undefeated here at Castle Coliseum to take on Virginia Tech. The Hokie women trying to match the effort of the Tech men in beating Duke this weekend. The Blue Devils, one of just 3 remaining unbeatens nationwide, and all 3 are in the ACC as Weiner ends her 3-point drought. She had missed her last 10 in a row.
Yeah, and when Duke can score, they can change up their defense a little bit, Beth. It gives them a chance to get into something different. Now they're trying to trap on the wing.
Abby Weiner to her sister Emily.
They throw it inside right there. Jawara's away from the basket.
Abby Weiner first, then Emily Weiner for 3 as they team up for 6 unanswered points for the Blue Devils.
Just like back in high school when they were winning those 3 consecutive state championships.
Out of Highlands Ranch, Colorado in the Denver area. That has cranked out some top-notch Division I players. Sissy Pierce is at Stanford. Emmy Fox is at Minnesota. Liz Sherwood at Vandy.
Emily Fox had a fantastic game Thursday night against the Buckeyes. She had 14 in the first half.
Juanisha Smith to Abby Weiner. 9 points in a row for the Weiners. Then timeout Virginia Tech. They pulled to within 1, and then Abby and Emily went to her. Wow. Abby with 2 triples, Emily with 1 in the middle of those. And it's a 9-0 run.
This is a backdoor cut that should have been open, but Duke recovers off the block. Watch how quickly they score in transition. Weiner to Weiner. Bang, that's the first 3. This is the last one. Abby from the same position on the floor, again in transition. Virginia Tech not with any pressure on the ball coming up the floor, and that allows Abby Weiner to get all the way to the corner. When you let Duke score out of their transition game, they are so effective, and it gives them so much energy. And then if you have to take the ball out of the basket, you better believe a change in defense is coming.
16 fast break points for the Blue Devils of their 28 on the board. Jawara, the backdoor to Cook, couldn't knock it down.
You got to make those back-to-back backdoors that Virginia Tech had a chance to put down.
Jawara, no good. Copeland has another attempt, around and out. Bales secures the rebound. She has altered 6 shots here in the first half. Weiner looking for another one. Won't go.
Boy, Juanisha Smith, though, did the right thing. She dribble penetrated just deep enough to be able to draw Copeland enough to give Weiner some room to get that shot off.
First foul on Allison Bales. Duke by 10.
Working from home changed my life.
It all started when I was referred by this free service.
With all the money I made working from home, I bought a new home. This is the one website you have to visit.
Put your computer to work now.
All you need is a computer and a little belief in yourself.
I'm making $5,000 a month.
I make over $7,000 a month working part-time.
I love the lifestyle my home business offers. And the money's great, too.
Log on to 11newfuture.com now.
This is a message from the Fuel TV broadcasting system.
Not a real emergency.
You should immediately log on to www.fuel.tv.
It's Fuel TV's new website.
That's www.fuel.tv.
This presentation of ACC Women's Hoops on FSN is brought to you by Gatorade, Chrysler Jeep, and by Chick-fil-A. Back here at Virginia Tech, these are the players from the ACC that are Naismith National Player of the Year nominees. I think I could coach this club right here.
Yeah,
Give me this 10.
Yeah, you would win.
And I'll take on all comers.
That's too easy. This is a very talented group of players. You only see 3 schools represented. The entire Maryland starting 5 is on that list. First time in the history that's ever happened. And not only is Lindsey Harding on the Naismith list, but she and Allison Bales are also on the Wooden and the State Farm Way Trophy list as well.
And they will probably be on the list for the brand new National Defensive Player of the Year award that the WBCA, the Basketball Coaches Association, is sponsoring this year, along with a new Rookie Coaches Award that is named after the late Maggie Dixon, the former head coach at Army. Gay working inside. Bales. Shot won't go.
Boy, size and Jawara bodying her up. Bothered Bales on that shot.
Duke will probably be playing the rest of this half without Lindsey Harding, who is on the bench with 2 fouls. Abby and Emily Weiner spurred a 9-0 run just moments ago with 3 straight three-point shots. Weiner, offensive foul as she got the arm hook out, trying to get around the defender.
I think Abby Weiner is the most emotional player on the Blue Devil team. There you see the hook right there on Copeland. And she gets the foul. Good call by the official.
And that is now 2 on Abby Weiner, who apparently will be on the bench for the remainder of the first half. So Weiner and Harding both sitting right now. That's not where Gail Gestencourt wants those two to be.
That's one of the best backcourt tandems in the country. So now let's see what Virginia Tech can do. We've talked about their poise and patience, their ability to execute. And Duke is showing some zone without their pressing guards out front.
And after the hot start, they have not scored in 5.5 minutes. Pretty feed, Copeland to Jawara.
I'm telling you, Kirby Copeland is on her game today. Such a great delivery inside.
Look at how deep Bales gets. Jawara altered the shot, and then a foul on the rebound.
Allison Bales, 6'7", Barry 6'6" under the rim. You got to finish that. You are right there with 2 feet at the rim. Allison Bales is too skilled not to finish that, but I think Jawara's size is bothering her some. And she's being very physical with it.
She is used to having the much bigger size advantage. Allison, by the way, today continues her move up the NCAA career block shots list. She is now 15th all time.
Look at that nice delivery by Copeland. See, she forces Bales to rotate up in the back of that zone. And Duke didn't pinch the back row fast enough, and Jawara did a great job of getting right in her vision.
Weiner, a rare miss at the free throw line for Duke.
I guess the women did watch the men beat Duke last night, didn't they?
Hall, Bales altered that one. Emily Weiner. Brittany Mitch is also in the game now for Duke. Juanisha Smith, boy, if she starts knocking down threes, that's huge for the Blue Devils.
That's her 8th three-pointer of the season, only a 28% three-point shooter. Duke playing zone. Gail Gestencourt really having to go deep into her bench with a little bit of foul trouble by the backcourt.
Haskins no good. Duke with the outlet to Juanisha Smith. If you give their guards a running start with the outlet pass, forget it.
You got to make them come back. You have to make the Duke guards come back. But Allison Bales so quickly with the outlet pass to Juanisha Smith. Watch how quickly Bales gets the ball and then rips it out. There is not even another Virginia Tech player in the frame. Juanisha Smith with her speed finishes. That's too easy for Duke. You got to get better pressure on the guards and make them come back to the ball to slow them down so you can set your defense.
18 points in transition for the Blue Devils. And a lot of that has to do with Bales in there to get the rebound, and then the guards know that they can take off. And that's one of the other advantages of having her in there. Not only can they take more risks on defense, but they can get out and go quicker on offense.
Well, you have to make some choices. And, you know, how many people are you going to send to the glass, and how many people are you going to get back against Duke? I say right now, you really, with Allison Bales on the floor, you really don't want to send more than 2 to the offensive boards. The other people need to match up with the guards. Try to keep them in front.
Hall with the offensive rebound.
Now, if Bales isn't in there, then I think you said 3, 3.5 to the glass. And you can send a half a person to the glass, Beth. I know you're saying, how do you mean 3.5?
At 5'6", I was a half a person to the glass when I went into rebound.
You went in there? I didn't even think you went inside
on
the lane
occasion.
at all.
I think I had a couple of rebounds in my career.
Well, the fouls are starting to mount up for Duke, and Virginia Tech continues to go to the free throw line.
2 fouls on Weiner and Harding here in the first half. 18 fouls total against the Blue Devils, and that means that Tech will be at the line the rest of the way with 4:35 to go.
Beth, no team this season has scored more than 27 points in the first half against Duke, and look where Virginia Tech is right now with 22.
Mitch to Smith. Reach-in foul is going to be called on Copeland.
See, now that's a foul Copeland can't commit. She's already beat. She reaches from behind. She cannot get in foul trouble. And see, now with her fouls, she's got to come out.
Now the Hokies line up for 15, Utah drive. Juanisha Smith will be at the line for Duke, shooting a 1-1.
So Copeland will depart with the 2 personals. And now Juanisha Smith at the free throw line. Boy, what a job Duke has done at the line, Debbie. As a team shooting better than 70%. At one point this year, they hit 33 free throws in a row.
That's called getting in the gym and working on your free throws and having a routine. And I know Coach Gestencourt puts them in pressure situations in practice as well. But coaches today don't have time to spend on free throws. Players need to get in the gym and do it themselves. The other thing about Duke's free throws too, Beth, is they're shooting 24 a game. That's up over last year. Part of that is because they spread it out so well.
Count the basket on the dribble drive from Brittany Anderson. And that's Allison Bales' second personal. So 4 Duke starters picking up 2 each here in the first half.
Look how Brittany Anderson protects the basketball against the shot blocker. A little bit of contact. We talked to her before the basketball game. I said, Brittany, I was expecting a breakout year out of you. She said, it's coming. I can sense that we're really starting to put it together here at Virginia Tech, and this is my senior year, and I would love to have a win today against the Blue Devils.
So because of the foul trouble, the Duke lineup right now is Emily Weiner, Brittany Mitch, Smith, Bridgette Mitchell, and Joy Cheek.
1 starter on the floor.
Emily Weiner, no good. Mitchell with the offensive rebound and the putback. Hokie fans wanted the offensive foul. But Bridgette Mitchell has the most offensive rebounds this year on the Duke team.
Boy, Haskins had a look right there. You don't get very many wide open shots against Blue Devils defense normally.
Anderson, 10 on the shot clock. Haskins, the skip pass. Haskins passed up on that early shot, Debbie, and they never got another look. 12-point advantage for Duke with 3:11 to go here in the first half, despite some Blue Devil foul trouble.
Catch the defending national champion Maryland Terrapins and the rest of America's hottest teams when the 2007 ACC Women's Basketball Tournament returns to Greensboro, Thursday, March 1st through Sunday, March 4th. Last year, the tournament propelled 3 teams to the NCAA Final Four. Who knows what will happen this year? Tickets are on sale now at the Greensboro Coliseum box office. Call 888-397-3100 or log on to tickets.com.
What does it take to use energy wisely? To make your home more efficient? To preserve our resources and the environment? To make sure the quality of life you enjoy is enjoyed by your children and their children? To lower your electric bill and say, yeah, I'm making a difference. What does it take? People, performance, excellence. To save money with programs like Home Energy Check, visit progress-energy.com/save.
The best damn sports show period, weeknights on FSN.
ACC College Hoops, Duke leading Virginia Tech 37-25, but it's going to be some unfamiliar faces breaking that Duke huddle. They got 4 starters on the bench here in the first half with 2 fouls apiece.
Well, some coaches have the 2-foul rule, and obviously Coach Guest, of course, with the lead, doesn't need to put any of those starters back in as long as her bench has been able to maintain the lead and actually extend the lead, because it was a 1-point game when Emily Weiner and Abby Weiner started hitting some threes.
They hit 3 in a row for a 9-0 run, and that's basically the difference here in the first half. Virginia Tech has been aggressive. They have attacked the Duke defense. In and out for Smith. Joy Cheek offensive rebound, and she's called for the walk. Virginia Tech on the verge of putting up the most first half points that anyone has done against Duke this year. 27 is the most that anybody has scored in the first half, with Weiner, Harding, Gay, and Bales all on the bench right now. Anderson, pretty turnaround, won't go. Cheek with the rebound. That time Virginia Tech made the outlet come back to receive the pass.
And they all sprinted back to the paint and then matched up. That's key when you're playing North Carolina. Same thing. You got to make Ivory Latta come back to the basketball. When you're playing Maryland, you got to make Christy Tolliver, Sade Wiley-Gatewood come back to the basketball. Those point guards lead a very fast and very efficient attack.
Weiner with the shot clock winding down. Boy, did we see a performance yesterday by Maryland, and we'll be fortunate enough to see North Carolina tomorrow here on the Regional Sports Network against Virginia. But Crystal Langhorne only missed 1 shot all day as they blitzed Michigan State.
Well, Crystal Langhorne, the center, the junior for Maryland, leads the nation in field goal percentage at 76 going into the game. Well, I already did the math. She's at 78 after her 13 for 14 from the floor. And Maryland is as good, I think, better than last year, if you can believe it.
If you're putting together your team here at the midway point of the season, is she your first pick, Crystal Langhorne?
She's my mid-season player, national player of the year. She's the best player on the best team. They have won 23 in a row, counting last year. through to this season. And there's only 3 unbeaten teams in the whole country, and they all reside in the ACC. They all can score. That's what I think makes them special. Maryland, North Carolina, and Duke all have the ability to put some points on the board. We're not seeing that as much today from Duke because of the Virginia Tech D.
Numbers 1, 2, and 3 in the nation, the last 3 unbeatens. And the reach-in foul called on Mitchell.
Foul's number 15, Bridget Mitchell. That's her second personal foul.
That'll be the second on her.
Brittany Cook will be in the line for the Hokies.
They are certainly garnering a lot of the attention from the major conferences. How about some mid-majors that could make some noise? The likes of Middle Tennessee State or Bowling Green or UTEP all off to good starts and doing a nice job.
Don't forget Hofstra. You got to put them on the list too.
Yeah, the Colonial could be in total revolt with Hofstra and Delaware making some noise.
See, I think this is critical right here that Beth Dunkelberger puts Copeland back in the game. She's been their most effective offensive player. You got to keep this thing to single digits going into the half. And Copeland's got to be able to play smart and not pick up that third in the last minute.
Bridget Mitchell has gone out with her second personal foul, so there is nobody else to put in the game that wouldn't have 2 fouls here for Duke. Weiner to Mitch, looking inside, the pass over the head of Joy Cheek. Under a minute to go here in the first half. Coming up at halftime, Debbie had a sit down with Gail Gestencours before today's game. Also a closer look at the big 3 in the ACC and highlights and stats from our first half here as Virginia Tech turned it over. They have matched the best first half effort that an opponent has put up against Duke this year with their 27 points. And still they trail by 10. Emily Weiner. Joy Cheek off the ball fake around Jawara, and she'll head to the line. That's the first personal on Nari.
Well, this is the 5 on the floor that goes against the starting 5 every day in practice. You would think that, and I know Gail Gestencours expects a little bit more out of them offensively. You're going against the best defense every day in practice.
It's a nice novelty that she's had the last couple of years to have a deeper bench. Remember the years when 8 was enough with Elena Beard getting to the Final Four?
And 6 straight years they've had a Kodak All-American, and those players move on, yet the success continues. 6 straight years they've won 30-plus games. No one's ever done that.
Biggs looking for 3 around and out. Cheek wanted it more than everybody else, and she got it. And Joy is fouled on the play.
I think Beth Dunkelberger has an awful lot to go in to the locker room with and be happy with about her team and their performance. Look at the effort right here. It's like hot potato. Cheek comes down with it. Biggs picks up the foul. I think Beth Dunkelberger is going to go into the locker room and tell her team, we are that close. Now you know the Duke starters are going to start the second half, and you've got to be able to withstand the run. But I think they've gained a lot of confidence. They're coming off that North Carolina loss. They got their doors blown off. North Carolina scored 102 to 68. That's good prep for Duke.
She can go in and say, hey, the 3 3-pointers, those 3 plays changed the first half. Otherwise, they're right there with them statistically. Anderson, her 3 no good. Mitch with the rebound. And that'll take care of the first half of play. The 3rd-ranked and undefeated Duke Blue Devils with the halftime lead over Virginia Tech, 41-27 here at Castle Coliseum.
My neighbor drove all over town to find the best deal on a cell phone. I just logged on to Let's Talk. They make it easy to compare plans from all major carriers and find cell phone deals that are much cheaper than retail.
Like the hot Motorola Razr with Bluetooth technology, a $319 value, yours free after rebate with new singular calling plans.
Let's Talk has the best prices, the best plans, and the most free phones guaranteed.
Log on to 21letstalk.com or call now to order your free Motorola Razr. Let's Talk, the smart way to shop for cell phones. So log on or call now.
Good luck to you all, and congratulations.
Our Geico ACC moment. The last time these two teams met was last year in the quarterfinals of the ACC tournament, with the Blue Devils prevailing 69-56. And with her 13 points, Monique Curry became the third Duke player ever to surpass the 2,000 career point mark. Our Geico ACC moment. And now it's time for Debbie Antonelli to sit down with Duke head coach Gail Gestenhorst.
Coach, a lot of people that have seen you play horse in the gym might not believe you were an All-American in college, but you were, and it was because of your defensive abilities. Why is this defensive team for you so good?
I think because we understand what we want to do defensively. It starts with Lindsey Harding, our point guard. She sets the tone for us, and it finishes with Allison Bale, who can clean up anything, any mistakes that we make. She's going to block some shots for us.
Now, you mentioned those two players, and this year in women's college basketball, first time ever a National Defensive Player of the Year. You have two strong candidates. Describe why they're so good.
I think Lindsey Harding, she's the reigning Defensive Player of the Year in the ACC. She sets the tone. She's intense, she's intelligent, and she's disciplined. I think Allison Bale's down low. She's intimidating. She's a shot blocker. She's a game changer with her defense.
You love to watch tape and you love to break down an opponent. Well, I want to know what's harder for you, breaking down the tape of a top 10 opponent or making lasagna for your junior class?
Definitely making lasagna. That was a task, and I don't think I would have won that. I think the lasagna won out over me.
Now, what are you going to do about crab legs? The word is the freshman class wants crab legs.
Well, the freshmen, they're going to have to help me. I told them they're going to have to give me an assist on that one.
When you get the newspaper in the morning, where do you look? Sports page, the front page, or do you go right to the money section?
Definitely the sports page. I don't have enough money to worry about that.
Well, Coach G, thanks for joining us at the half. Good luck the rest of the season. Back to you, Beth.
Thanks a lot, Debbie. By the way, it was spaghetti for the seniors and surf and turf for the sophomores for Coach G. We're at the half. Back after this.
Give me the rock. You want the candy? You can't have the candy. They call me the bus driver, kid, because I'm about to take you to school. Vader! Oh!
Man, I send it to everybody. Hey.
What are you guys looking at?
Nothing.
Catch My Circle Mania. Text HOOPS to 84353 for a chance to win $100,000.
Cow! Good, Aaron, cow. Cow! Yes, sweetie, cow. Cow! Paul, where are the burgers?
For breakfast, try Chick-fil-A's tasty chicken biscuits, chicken minis, or breakfast burritos.
The totally new Jeep Compass. With an available full-time Freedom Drive 1 four-wheel drive system, a high-tech dual VVT 172 horsepower engine, and still 30 miles per gallon on the highway. Jeep Compass. It's freedom in a whole new dimension.
At the Gatorade Sports Science Institute, we test athletes in the lab. Because we know they'll be tested on the field. Gatorade, the most tested sports drink on the planet.
This is my dream.
My dream to be the best in the classroom and in competition.
I will celebrate my victories and learn from my defeats.
I will succeed.
I will achieve my dream.
I am a student athlete in the Atlantic Coast Conference.
The official corporate partners of the ACC salute all the student athletes as they pursue their dreams today, tomorrow, and beyond.
41-27 at the half. Duke, the Undefeated Blue Devils have the lead over Virginia Tech, despite 5 players limited in minutes due to foul trouble in the first half. The Weiner sisters hit 3 threes in a row with about 7 minutes to go in the half to bust open a close game. Numbers 1, 2, and 3 in the nation, all coming out of the ACC. May not be so much fun for the teams, but it'll be great for the fans to watch North Carolina, Duke, and Maryland this year.
Boy, it's going to be a lot of fun for the fans. I think the coaches are going to like it too, because when you've got the top competition in your own conference, it only helps you get better. Now, there's clearly a division in the ACC this year. 1, 2, and 3 are not only the best in their conference, they're the best in the country when you're talking about Maryland, North Carolina, and Duke, and they all return enough players that with their big game experience in the Final Four that allow them to get there. I really like Maryland's balance. I think they're better than they were last year. I think North Carolina plays with the same speed that they've played with in the past. Duke's defense, believe it or not, could possibly get better, and this is going to be a really fun race to watch.
North Carolina, the defending champs in the Atlantic Coast Conference in both the regular season and the tournament, but the first big head-to-head will be Duke and Maryland at Cameron Indoor Stadium on Saturday afternoon.
I cannot wait for that environment in Cameron. It is close to being a sellout. What you've got in Crystal Langhorne is a player on the inside that leads the country in field goal percentage. Almost 80% from the floor, so when she catches it with 2 feet in the paint, she is dynamite. All 5 starters for Maryland average in double figures, and their 6th man, well, it happens to be Sade Wiley-Gatewood. She averages in double figures as well. Duke brings a dominant defensive style. Maryland has not been challenged on their schedule yet. Duke will give them a run at home. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet for this game, you better pick them up now.
And speaking of that, number 1, undefeated Maryland. Number 3, undefeated Duke. A crash course set to get it on inside Cameron Indoor Stadium Saturday afternoon at 12:30. Check your local listings for when it will be on in your area. 41-27. Blue Devils with the lead over the Hokies. 18 fast break points leading the way for Duke.
Nothing draws a neighborhood crowd together like the big game or the big race. And the best place to catch the action is right from your own living room. Food Lion is happy to help keep your home concession stand stocked all season with a fantastic variety of delicious foods at prices that will have you cheering. Food Lion, good neighbors, great prices.
People could save hundreds of dollars on car insurance by switching to Geico. It says here, new customers report average annual savings of over $500.
Easy money.
Easy money. You do have to go to geico.com.
Which is like what? Asking you to stand up? Hello there, you know, if you stand up, you could save loads of money. I doubt you're going to be like, no thanks, I'm so rich, I think I'll keep my seat.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Hey, Mom, how was your day? Pretty good.
The best damn sports show period. Weeknights on FSN.
41-27, Duke with the lead over Virginia Tech here at the half. In a game that is actually was tighter than the score indicated until the Weiner sisters hit 3 threes in a row to open it up.
Early on, it was Kirby Copeland until she had to sit with a little bit of foul trouble. She played 14 very solid minutes to help her team stay in this basketball game. But it's ultimately the Duke defense that allows them to get out on a break and transition. Here's one of the threes that Abby Wayner hit in that run that allowed Duke to go from a 1-point lead to a double-digit lead. And when Allison Bales is dominating the glass and you don't make the Duke guards come back, it's going to be too easy for the Blue Devils on the other end.
18 fast break points, and they scored 13 more points off of the 12 Virginia Tech turnovers.
When we talk about Duke's defense, once again, no opponent has scored more than 27 in the first half, and they're holding Virginia Tech right now to 27% from the floor. And points off turnovers are always going to be a big deal. Duke has 6 steals, which has allowed them to score 13 points on the other end. And when Virginia Tech has set up their half-court defense and they've made Duke play side to side, they've been very successful in containing the Blue Devil offense.
Second half coming up. Abby Wayner and the Duke starters that were in a bit of foul trouble will be back out to start the second half.
We're doing research at the Duke Primate Center on how lemurs learn. We're trying to save these endangered species.
We're studying how light bends in deep space around massive objects like black holes and galaxies.
We teach ballet and provide dance therapy for kids at a local children's theater.
That's what we do.
What will you do at Duke?
We're learning film theory and production.
And we just made our first national television spot.
What does it take to use energy wisely? To make your home more efficient? To preserve our resources and the environment? To make sure the quality of life you enjoy is enjoyed by your children and their children? To lower your electric bill and say, yeah, I'm making a difference. What does it take? People, performance, excellence. To save money with programs like Home Energy Check, visit progress-energy.com/save.
My neighbor drove all over town to find the best deal on a cell phone. I just logged on to Let's Talk. They make it easy to compare plans from all major carriers and find cell phone deals that are much cheaper than retail.
Like the hot Motorola Razr with Bluetooth technology, a $319 value, yours free after rebate with new singular calling plans.
Let's Talk has the best prices, the best plans, and the most free phones guaranteed.
Log on to 21letstalk.com or call now to order your free Motorola Razr. Let's Talk, the smart way to shop for cell phones. So log on or call now.
Working from home changed my life.
It all started when I was referred by this free service.
With all the money I made working from home, I bought a new home. This is the one website you have to visit.
Put your computer to work now.
All you need is a computer and a little belief in yourself.
I'm making $5,000 a month.
I make over $7,000 a month working part-time.
I love the lifestyle my home business offers, and the money's great too.
Log on to 11newfuture.com now.
Close to 4,000 on hand here at Castle Coliseum for Duke and Virginia Tech. 41-27, the Blue Devils. 5 players with 2 fouls that limited their minutes. Led by Wanisha Smith, though, with 14 points. Kirby Copeland had some limited minutes with foul trouble as well.
Well, I think Chihuahua did a fantastic job of defending Allison Bales inside. Look at her, she's 6'6", she's solid. She's not intimidated. As a matter of fact, she's coming off a game where Elena Larkins, the center for North Carolina, was 2 for 11 from the floor. So she's gone against some of the best bigs in the league, and she is holding her own inside. Allison Bales right now is 1 for 6 from the floor.
The problem for Virginia Tech has been the Duke defense. After they started out hitting 6 of their first 11 shots, they only hit 2 of their last 19 attempts. And there is the Duke defense forcing the quick timeout.
A timeout, 10 seconds into the game. Don't tell me you didn't know the trap was coming.
Discretion advised.
Dawn, are you all right?
Yes, Lucy. Tuesday, all new Dirt.
I need a shot of Kira Clay for the cover.
used to have.
I know, Don.
Dig deeper into the new FX original series.
You are a star now. If you don't start using your power, it'll be over.
So, essentially, I'm a booty call.
Yeah.
Wow, you're like a guy.
Oh, what, is it too hardcore for you? This isn't Tiger Beat.
Who you working with?
I would...
Hey, set me up with that skank. You're bent.
Technically, I'm schizophrenic.
This girl's my next cover.
Courtney Cox stars.
We're in a war here. We've got one shot if we're lucky.
If anyone gets onto this, we lose the whole story.
Dirt. All new Tuesday at 10. Only on FX.
The best damn sports show, period. Weeknights on FSN.
Won't show up in the stat sheet, but another example of how the Duke defense can change a game.
You had to know at the start of the second half that Duke was going to trap. It wasn't like it was a surprise. Virginia Tech walked the ball up, and they passed it to the wing, and the trap came, and Beth Dunkelberger's team has to call a timeout 10 seconds in.
Copeland's got to know, hey, I can bounce it off a leg there out of bounds and then regroup.
Well, and that pass right there that Haskins tried to make to the wing, that's too long. You got to shorten up the angle right there against the traps.
You think the paint's peeling off the wall in the Duke locker room after Coach G talked to him at halftime?
I think maybe. But also, Coach G recognized the fact that she didn't have her starters on the floor the majority of this first half with those 2 fouls, which means they're rested.
There is Gail Gestencourt's over there in her 15th season, 4 times the National Coach of the Year. No coach in ACC men's or women's history has won better than Coach G. She's tops all time, followed by Dean Smith and Mike Krzyzewski when you put the men and women together. Weiner in transition. Oof, off the side of the backboard. Abby knew it was off the minute she let it go. Copeland going to take it around Harding, comes up short. Good hustle by Jawara to get down there to tie up Abby Weiner.
Jawara turned it over in the corner, and you turn it over down there against the Blue Devils. They just go the other way. Weiner had a great look. She might have had too much time.
Too open on that one.
Look at this trap. Ball goes to the corner. Bang. Here comes the trap. It's a 6'6" player. You got to be stronger than that. She loses her balance and loses the ball.
Bales will step out.
Duke likes to invert their guards down to the box. Look at Karim Gay coming across the lane.
Smith, tough pass there for Bales to handle. Tried to force that one in. Duke will keep it with 2 seconds on the shot clock.
You do have time for a dribble.
Harding using the Karim Gay screen, no good. Virginia Tech has numbers to push. Copeland, uncontested. Short, good offensive rebound for Brittany Anderson. Now it's Cook, 4-2.
That's a good piece of execution right there by Virginia Tech. They push, they get a medium-range jump shot, and then they board it. Duke doesn't have time to reset their defense. That's why Cook was wide open.
Weiner directing traffic. Copeland on her defensively. Probing the baseline, and Weiner with the nice wraparound.
Nice move, because Weiner was looking to dribble, penetrate that time to pass. Nobody slid in her vision. Nice move.
Duke forcing the turnover. Gail Gestencourt, as Karim Gay fills the lane, assist by Harding. In her discussions with Weiner in the offseason, brought up the name of J.J. Redick. Said, just like J.J. did, you have to expand your game. You recall Weiner from last year, she was just an outside shooter. This year she's playing some D. She's rebounding better.
She's in better shape. She understands now, after playing a year at the highest level. Gail Gestencourt called her cut when she came back. She had done such a nice job in the offseason of getting ready. Nice play right here. You don't see any Blue Devils in the picture right there, so she dribble penetrates and finishes, and then off the steal.
8-2 run out of the locker room for Duke here to open up the 18-point lead. Not an easy task for Virginia Tech, having to play Carolina and Duke back-to-back. And when you look at the schedules around the league, there are some tough ones. Duke has to play Maryland and North Carolina back-to-back. Boston College has to play North Carolina, Maryland, and Duke all within a 13-day stretch coming up later this year.
That's no fun.
Won't be tough in the. It won't be easy in the ACC.
But Kathy Iglesias will be ready. The one thing that she's brought to the ACC is that she knows how to prep her team, and she will expose a weakness if you have one.
Oh, terrific catch by Harding on the run. And it's a 10-0 stretch here for the Blue Devils.
And all of a sudden, here's that dominating defense that we talked about. They could be suffocating. They get in your grill.
Brentnall misses the chippy, and the putback is good.
The other thing that they do is they make you rush. See, they just make it very difficult for you to feel comfortable at any point in the game on your offensive end.
And then they make you pay because their defense forces the turnover and they run with it. They've got 24 fast break points here today. Bales off the mark shooting in the first half. She'll go to the free throw line to try and remedy it.
You think Gail Gestenforth told Allison Bales to toughen up in the second half as well? That was a strong post move by Allison Bales.
Coach G told us yesterday she watched the Crystal Langhorne performance and she knows she's going to face Crystal and Maryland this weekend, and just kind of shook her head. Hey, boy, we have got to be strong inside against them.
They are good. They are connected. They play with great chemistry. Look at this move right here. That's nice footwork by Allison Bales to draw the foul.
Rattled the second one in and out.
That's just fun. I mean, how could you not enjoy seeing top teams go at it? I mean, I'm not good. If that game is not sold out, I'll be shocked. There's only, what'd you say, 1,000 tickets left? That's it?
Yep, just about.
I mean, that's it.
They're close to sellouts up at Maryland for the Duke and North Carolina games. There are still a limited number of tickets available, but those two will probably be sold out. And you know the Carolina fans are going to show up for their home game against the Blue Devils coming up in early February. Weiner from Smith.
Just good work without the basketball. It's not all about plays for Duke. You don't just run plays. Gail Gestenforth teaches them how to play.
Cook, baseline jumper is good.
Yeah, Cook's starting to come alive in the second half. That's her second basket.
Sophomore from Narrows, Virginia, doubling her point and rebound production this year. That pass went awry.
That doesn't go down as a shot attempt, does it?
I don't know. I have to check the record book. If it hits the backboard, is that a shot? Big time screen out top by Brentnall, and she gets called for the foul. As Juanisha Smith sold it. Break in the action. Blue Devils trying to run away with it.
Songs, the marching bands, the mascots, and the seas of red, white, and blue. Here come the nail biters, golden arms, and the longest yards. Here come the bone-crushing hits, the poster dunks, and Heisman high steps. Here comes the one channel you've been waiting for. Here comes the Big Ten Network. The new network that covers the most prestigious conference in the country, from football to basketball and everything in between. This is the channel Big Ten fans have always dreamed of. 10 Network, coming August 2007.
The Best Damn Sports Show period, weeknights on FSN.
ACC College Hoops from Castle Coliseum here in Blacksburg. The Duke Blue Devils looking like the #3 ranked team in the country.
Oh, a shot. And Wanisha Smith, who drew the foul, says, that's it. That's all you got. A little bit tougher than that. Is an emphasis in a women's college game this year as a screening.
Wanisha's like, come on, playing against Misty Williams last year, I had 3 or 4 of those a day in practice.
You all right? She's like, yeah, that's nothing. Really get that fly off of me.
Virginia Tech has not been able to match the Duke intensity coming out of the locker room as Duke turns it over there.
Yeah, I don't know why Allison Bales would try to make that pass, and that's exactly what Gail Gessencourse is thinking. Even if Lindsey Harding caught that, she would have been already behind the backboard.
Let's see if Kirby Copeland can get things going here for Virginia Tech. Off to the hot start and then sidelined with the 2 fouls in the first half. Cook, nice backdoor in the pass, and Jawara misses.
Again, good backdoor against the pressure.
And then Weiner, in the playground, they'd call that cherry picking a little bit, getting the pass from her sister, and Duke will keep it.
Well, that goes back to the point we were talking about in the first half. You got to make the Blue Devil guards. You got to match up quicker. Virginia Tech is thinking sprint to the paint and get back, but you've got to sprint back looking to match up with somebody, as long as you got the basket protected.
Bridgette Mitchell unable to finish, and now Copeland on the run. Kirby Copeland got it.
Strong, terrific finish.
Weiner, oh, picks it up and puts it in.
Now, Beth, I'm telling you right now, Beth Dunkerberger is saying, we just made them take it out of the net and they get a layup on the other end. That is a great illustration of Duke's team speed.
We usually talk about North Carolina in that regard with the way they can push the ball up the floor so quickly.
Well, they do, and they still do, and they always will now in Sylvia Hatchell's system, which fits her personnel perfectly.
Jawara out to Biggs, looking for 3. This is a good-looking young freshman out of Midlothian, Virginia, an all-state performer in high school. She could make some big contributions off the Tech bench the rest of the way in the ACC.
She's 5'11". She's got great size on the perimeter, and that's one of the Virginia Tech strengths is their size on the outside.
Bales, nice move along the baseline, gets the basket. She's got 5 points to go along with 4 rebounds and 4 block shots.
See, you can scroll right over the top of that zone when you've got size.
The quickness of Abby Weiner. Around and out, and Mitchell called for the offensive foul, going for the rebound. That will be number 3 on Bridgette.
Abby Weiner, when she gets the opportunity one-on-one, she is going to take it to the basket. You can see the push-off inside, what the official saw. It's hard to tell from that angle.
Copeland looking to go off the bounce. Biggs again. Good box out by the Blue Devils. Emily Weiner.
Yeah, whoever's guarding Emily Weiner does not go to the offensive boards. You match up with Weiner quickly because she loves to get out in transition. You call it cherry picking, I call it leaking, but it works. It doesn't matter what you call it. It's a big part of their offensive philosophy.
Well, this is the lineup where it becomes a little tougher to do that without Bales in there to snare every rebound.
Because Bales can make the outlet to the hash.
Harding had to change her shot in midair and then tracks down the loose ball, but it goes right to Kirby Copeland. One-on-one, Copeland on Weiner. Gets the bounce.
Well, Emily Weiner has been back twice in defensive transition, but she just can't match up with Kirby Copeland, who's just physically stronger.
Harding takes the handoff. Defended by Biggs.
Nice, strong, smart move. They enter it into the post, and then they scissor cut off it. And this is just a nice read by Lindsey Harding, what the defense was doing. They weren't in front of her. She saw a lane to the bucket, and she finishes.
She left Biggs in the dust. The decision there, and I'm not sure if it's because of Copeland with the 2 fouls, they do not have Kirby on Harding. They had Biggs on her defensively.
She was on her some in the first half.
Lindsey Harding able to knock it down. Duke's record with Lindsey Harding as their starting point guard, how about 111 wins and only 10 losses?
It's incredible, the winning at the highest level.
This senior class has only lost to North Carolina, Maryland, and Florida State in their 4 years of ACC play. Harding now on the run, head up. Lost the handle, able to tip it out to Emily Wayner.
Right, running that North Carolina weed that they like to run.
11:22 to go. Duke in command. Allison Bales nimble along the baseline.
Catch the defending national champion Maryland Terrapins and the rest of America's hottest teams when the 2007 ACC Women's Basketball Tournament returns to Greensboro, Thursday, March 1st through Sunday, March 4th. Last year, the tournament propelled 3 teams to the NCAA Final Four. Who knows what will happen this year? Tickets are on sale now at the Greensboro Coliseum box office. Call 888-397-3100 or log on to tickets.com.
You think you got game machine? All right, let's see what you got. Come on, breathe. Come on, breathe. Pick him up, pick him up.
Live NFL. Drink Diet Pepsi.
I can do this all day, baby.
Give me the rock. You want the candy? You can't have the candy. They call me the bus driver, kid, because I'm about to take you to school. Vader! Oh!
Man, I send this to everybody. Hey.
What are you guys looking at?
Nothing.
Catch My Circle Mania. Text HOOPS to 84353 for a chance to win $100,000.
This presentation of ACC Women's Hoops on FSN is brought to you by Food Lion, Pepsi, Alltel, and by Geico. Lindsey Harding, we talked about how she is looking to score more this year, and the numbers have gone up in each of her 4 seasons.
Her first couple of years, she was playing with a player named Elena Beard. You ever heard of her?
Yeah, she's a pretty good scorer.
Yeah, she was a good scorer. They went to a couple of Final Fours, and then Gail Gestencourse has asked her to step up her scoring, and her role has changed each year on the team, but her scoring has gotten better. That's off-season work.
She's got 15 here today. Let's take a look at our Chrysler Jeep game summary. 24 fast break points for Duke, 21 points off of turnovers that they have forced with their defensive effort as Copeland gets that one to drop.
Those turnovers, Duke forces 23 on an average, and they get 13 steals. And when you let them steal it in the live situation, their team speed is very difficult to catch up with.
You toss in the 7 block shots. Bales responsible for a lot of those as Mitchell is called for the offensive foul, and Bridgette has picked up her 4th personal.
Mitchell, another offensive foul, and look at Copeland doing everything. We told you she brought the ball rack out early to start things off here in Cassell Coliseum. She's done everything. Assists, she scored, now she's got made nice defensive play on the baseline.
has taken on the leadership qualities. I mean, just imagine they lost 4 starters from last year's team that she had been playing with for 3 years. An experienced team that went to the NCAA tournament, and it's a whole new ball game this year. Emily Weiner is now at the point, with both Abby Weiner and Harding out of the game. Karim Gay hits the shot. That's just her 3rd shot attempt of the day. Karim, though, has been one of the ones called on to step up her game now that she's in the starting lineup. Chance for a 3-point play here for Vatech. Jawara continues to work hard.
Fouls number 21, Joy Cheek. That's her first personal foul. Team foul number 4 for the Blue Devils.
Kirby Copeland again trying to make something happen. And look at Jawara doing a nice job of stepping through and finishing. I like Kirby Copeland playing with the basketball in Virginia Tech's offensive scheme. She's so talented and so skilled. She makes things happen and she draws attention off the bounce. And when she can do that, the bigs for Virginia Tech can be effective scoring.
Abby Weiner, the skip to Wanisha Smith.
And there's Copeland
again with a deflection.
She's everywhere.
See if they find her here in transition. Dry, bringing it up the floor.
See how quickly Wanisha Smith picked her up, got on her on the wing. You need to be running stuff for Kirby Copeland right here if you're Beth Dunkerberg, and I think she's trying.
Hall looking to lob it into Jawara over her head and out. They're going to bring some full court pressure now.
And that's where Duke speeds you up right there, because that play was open if you waited a half a beat. When you enter it from the high post, Duke can't help on that. And you got 6'6", the receiver.
Weiner, the no look to Smith. Duke tried to get a little too cute on that fast break attempt. They turn it over. Copeland. Mitch is there defensively. Kirby tries to change direction, and the reach-in foul will be called on Joy Cheek.
Fouls number 21, Joy Cheek.
Duke reaching a lot, not moving their feet in the quarter court set. That's where they picked up a lot of those fouls today. I don't think that's going to make Coach Gestenfors very happy. You don't want to put a team to the free throw line, and coaches aren't looking ahead. They've got another game this week before the big Maryland game, but we look ahead, and we know that they're thinking those kind of detailed things as they prepare their team.
Well, and just like that last bucket for Virginia Tech, you don't want to be giving up baskets on the set plays like that when you know what's coming when you're the Duke Blue Devils. Cook, strong to the bucket, beats 2 defenders to score. And for the first time, Coach G is up off the bench.
Very good second half by the redshirt sophomore Brittany Cook. She's been aggressive, she's looked for her offense, and you cannot pass down an open shot against the Blue Devils.
Duke's got to be careful they don't let Tech scoot back into this one. They are playing some inspired ball right now. It's a 7-2 run over the last 2.5 minutes.
Part of their inspiration comes from watching their men knock off the Duke Blue Devil men yesterday in Cameron. They watched the game as a team, and they asked to have practice early yesterday so that they could watch the entire game. How many college kids go to their coach and say on a Saturday morning, hey, coach, can you move practice up a little bit so we can watch the men play? And that's what the team did.
Jawara with the defensive play and the offensive play. And here come the Hokies. Timeout, Duke. The 22-point Duke lead is down to 14.
look at Gerara wide open. Nobody even near her at 6'6". That's too easy for Virginia Tech. And there's a guy who knows about upsets. Deron Washington yesterday. He's the gentleman that jumped over Greg Paulus on his way to the basket to dunk, and he had the big block at the end. He happens to be pretty good friends with Brittany Anderson, and they spend a lot of time together in the gym working on their free throws. They play a lot of one-on-one. Brittany told us before the game he's not allowed to go in the paint.
There's no dunking rule in effect.
I guess so, after watching that dunk yesterday in the Duke game.
Paulus's head disappeared for a moment there with Deron swooping over the top of him. How about an 8-0 run right now for the Hokies in the last 2 minutes? Duke quickly getting some of their starters back out there. Karim Gay off the bounce, up near the rim, laying it in. She attempted a dunk during the holidays against Boston University. Came up just a bit short. She's got close to a 30-inch vertical.
Well, she's from that high school powerhouse, Christ the King. You know, Sue Bird, Shamika Holzclaw, how about Shea Duran? You better start putting Karim Gay on that list.
Harding had it stripped by Copeland, but Kirby is called for the foul. 7:11 to go. Virginia Tech making a move on Duke.
Working from home changed my life.
It all started when I was referred by this free service.
All you need is a computer and a little belief in yourself.
With all the money I made working from home, I bought a new home. This is the one website you have to visit.
I love the lifestyle my home business offers. And the money's great, too.
If you're not working from home, then you're missing out on your share of a multi-billion-dollar industry.
I make over $7,000 a month working part-time.
I'm making $5,000 a month. Never thought I'd make this much right out of school.
I actually like what I do now, and I'm making more than ever.
Put your computer to work now.
My goal for next month is $20,000.
Working from home changed my life. This is the one website you have to visit.
I love working from home.
Ready for more money? Start earning extra money yourself by going to this website today.
Log on to 31newfuture.com now.
Heisman winner Troy Smith leads the unstoppable Buckeyes. But the Gators are ready to shock the world. The Tostitos BCS National Championship, Monday, only on Fox.
College basketball hits the hardwood on Fox College Sports. It's a Pac-10 showdown as Oregon looks to continue its dominance in the desert when they battle rival Arizona State. Thursday on Fox College Sports.
Back here in Blacksburg, ACC College Hoops. Duke had things under control, but now Virginia Tech trying to make a move out of them with 7:11 to go here in the ballgame as the Blue Devils come in third in the country, 15-0. And it's been a solid defensive effort throughout the season. However, today, the Hokies are on pace to score more points than any Duke opponent has put up on them this year. Now, that being said, it's only 52, and that was against Texas in a game they won handily.
And that
I
was
mean, the defense has been spectacular.
Yeah, that was considered their worst defensive effort. Texas shot 39.2, and they're number 22 in the country at the time.
They only are giving up 45 points per game this year. Lindsey Harding.
Well, you know, all those numbers, you know, North Carolina averaging 90 points and leading the country, they shrink a little when you get in conference play. You definitely have determined what your personality is going to be at this point in the season. But the coaches on the opposite bench know exactly what you're trying to do most of the time. We got some great coaches in this league that really study the other team and put their teams in position to win.
Copeland looking to go backdoor on Harding. Lindsey snares the rebound, and there it is again. The leak out, Abby Weiner for the lay-in.
But you know what? Harding has 94-foot vision, 94-foot vision, I should say. She sees the whole floor, and she's always looking up. And Abby Weiner's got great speed. She can really run the floor.
Lindsey Harding, by the way, with that assist, just passed Elena Beard for #2 all-time on the Duke career assist list, and in the next couple of weeks, she will pass Hillary Howard to become #1 all-time. She and Beard are the only players in Duke history with over 1,000 points and over 500 career assists. Dropping it off right there for Karim Gay to pick up another dime.
You know, and this is a little thing that doesn't show up in the stats either on that assist, Beth. The change of pace off the ball screen, the acceleration to turn the corner, and to give Karim Gay that open look. That's what defines a really good point guard. Knowing your personnel, who to get the ball to when, getting others established first.
I think the other big intangible that you see in the big three in the ACC is that when Harding is on the floor, or Latta or Tolliver, it gives everybody else peace of mind. We're going to be okay with her running the show. And you can see as soon as she came back into the game, Duke settled down.
Well, you've got Harding and Ivory Latta from North Carolina. You've got 2 senior point guards. They've had a lot of battles head-to-head. And then you've got Tolliver, the freshman, and now you got Sade Wiley-Gatewood for Brenda Frese, the head coach from Maryland. Sade comes off the bench and gives them a different kind of spark and look from the point position.
And the basket for Karim Gay. We saw Maryland yesterday as we take another look. She actually mentioned Lindsey Harding. She said, you know, there's a new National Defensive Player of the Year award, and Harding is probably one of the favorites for that. And Christie said playing against Harding and playing against Latta has really improved her game.
That was a pretty good piece of footwork in there by Karim Gay to keep the seal on the high post feed.
Gay looking for the steal. They've gotten away with a kick there. Harding, the dish. Juanisha missed the layup. It will go to Virginia Tech. Well, we've mentioned the names of Harding and Bales. Some other players that are probably going to be considered for that National Defensive Player of the Year. I put Camille Little on that list from North Carolina.
I think because she can guard point guard to post. She can guard 1 through 4.
Then you've got names like Courtney Parrish, the shot blocker at Oklahoma, Essence Carson at Rutgers, Arminty Price at Ole Miss, just to mention a few.
Well, it's going to be another uncontested, pretty much an uncontested layup for Abby Wayner.
28 fast break points for Duke.
Abby Wayner's had at least 4 layups in the second half. Layups.
Abby Wayner with 18, Lindsey Harding with 17, Juanisha Smith with 14. Karim Gay's got 11, 4 players in double figures for Duke. Kirby Copeland with 15, Jawara with 14. Brittany Cook has a dozen for Virginia Tech here today.
We mentioned Brittany Cook before. She's had a very good second half. She had 4 points in the first. She really looked for her shot. They need a third scorer, does Virginia Tech.
Harding takes the bump and the finish.
Baskets by Lindsey Harding.
Terrific body control by Harding in traffic.
Look at Harding. It's 2 dribbles past midcourt with contact off the glass. Now she's going to the free throw line. You know, part of the reason why Duke scores at such a high pace is because they do get a lot of layups off their defense. So one question mark I would have about them is when they get against North Carolina and Maryland and they have the team speed to take away those layups, how are they going to execute in the quarter court?
That's going to be real interesting to see. With Maryland and with North Carolina too, how will they react when it doesn't come as easy? That's what's going to make those matchups so much fun to watch.
I thought all 3 of those coaches, Brenda Frese, Gail Gestenforth, and Sylvia Hatchell, all been pushing the easy button so far this year.
That'll change next Saturday when the first meeting of the 3 commences at Cameron Indoor Stadium. And once again, the tickets are going fast. If you want to be inside a raucous Cameron Indoor Stadium for the Maryland-Duke game, they're expecting that it will be sold out at the latest by midweek.
Now see, and Kirby Copeland has exposed Duke in some ways off the dribble. And, you know, Virginia Tech has 1. But North Carolina and Maryland have 3 or 4 players that can do that to you. So that's going to be challenging.
Abby Wayner add to her list of layups. And Allison Bales was running the floor on that one. Look at the big girl getting down.
going down there just in case they miss a layup. So she can clean it up.
Copeland, there she goes again off the bounce, and the foul will be called on Lindsey Harding.
Hey, that's just smart play right there by Kirby Copeland.
Fouls number 10, Lindsey Harding.
Good afternoon for Lindsey Harding today on both ends of the floor. Gets the steal, and she'll get the finish.
Cow! Good, Aaron, cow. Cow! Yes, sweetie, cow. Cow! Paul, where are the burgers?
For breakfast, try Chick-fil-A's tasty chicken biscuits, chicken minis, or breakfast burritos.
This is a message from the Fuel TV broadcasting system.
Not a real emergency.
You should immediately log on to www.fuel.tv.
It's Fuel TV's new website.
That's www.fuel.tv.
Best Damn Sports Show, period. Weeknights on FSN.
This presentation of ACC Women's Hoops on FSN has been brought to you by Gatorade, Chrysler Jeep, and by Chick-fil-A. And speaking of Chick-fil-A, here is our Chick-fil-A play of the game. Lindsey Harding with the finish and the free throw. And for Lindsey today, very solid on both ends of the floor. 20 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, and helping Duke to 13 steals. They have forced 23 Virginia Tech turnovers.
Those are both their averages in turnovers and steals. But I'm telling you, this was not easy. Virginia Tech played a very solid first half. You got to remember, Duke's number 3. I mean, they are very good. And how about Beth Dunkelberger's team coming off the North Carolina loss? She did a fantastic job of raising their collective basketball IQ and how to take care of a pressured defensive team. Which it's hard. The depth for Duke and their commitment on that end and the pride they take in their defense is just going to wear you down.
Been impressed with the play today of Copeland and Jawara. They've combined for 29 points. And it was a real attacking mentality for Virginia Tech that served them well.
Hey, this is not an easy place to come up in Castle Coliseum, and Beth Dunkelberger in her time, they've done a good job of protecting their home court. And that's a pretty good line for Copeland up the and Jawara up the middle. You know, you got to be strong at point and post, and those two give them options. They need to develop a third option offensively.
And the last 10 years, Debbie, they have won 82% of their games here at home. So it is usually a good advantage for the Hokies. Copeland playing with 4 personal fouls, misses on the shot. Duke had it, and then Jawara tied him up. Now Reed has done a nice job of canceling out Allison Bales. Bales just 2 for 7 offensively. She is done for the day. But she will certainly present a challenge with that size and much more mobile than we've seen in the past.
She'll challenge everybody's front line with that size.
Under 3 minutes to go. Katura Jackson defended by Copeland, and now Brittany Mitch coming off the screen and knocking down the 3.
Nice job, sets her feet, squares her shoulders, perfect timing on the cut off the screen.
Blue Devils continue to roll. Once again, just one opponent this year has been within 20 points of Duke at the end of the day. And that was Bowling Green.
One of those 5 ranked teams that they've played in a stretch of 6 games that they won. Until Tennessee beat Connecticut yesterday. That gives Tennessee 6 wins over ranked teams. Duke had the most, tied with Tennessee. How about that game yesterday? Tennessee going up to Hartford, and Candace Parker, 30 points, 10 boards. She's a strong candidate for National Player of the Year, and she dunked.
That's dunk number 6, I think.
Yep, that's right.
Had to be extra special for her to be able to do it at UConn. That's 3 wins in a row for Tennessee over UConn. One of the big stories, of course, nationwide. And we also should send out a hello to Coach Kay Yao, who I guess was in the news on Friday, saying that she would love to come back to the sideline by the end of the season as she continues her battle against breast cancer.
You can guarantee she's working on it, and she is tackling it the best she can. I believe she's going to come back soon. We do send our best wishes out to her. The entire basketball community is well aware of her battle and been very supportive of trying to get her back on the sidelines.
That's 30 years on the sideline, and this is her 3rd go-round with cancer. Been a strong fighter at NC State. You just saw the 53 points, the most that an opponent has scored on Duke this year. Unfortunately for Virginia Tech, the Blue Devils are pushing 90 here. A well-balanced attack. Both Abby Weiner and Lindsey Harding with 20 points today, 2 others in double figures, and a nice hand for Kirby Copeland. 17 points for Kirby today, and a very solid effort. One minute to go now in Blacksburg.
There's a lot of young players out there for Beth Dunkenberger, and with Copeland and Jawara leading the way, they got a chance to be an NCAA tournament team again out of this league because it's so top-heavy. I really believe that there is a major race going on for 4, 5, 6, and 7. And that's not saying that somebody can't upset the other 3. There's not a coach in the league that doesn't believe they could take down Maryland, North Carolina, or Duke. And Sue Semrau at Florida State would be one of those teams that I think, because they play the top 3 at home, will have a chance.
Yep. Tallahassee, another place that's tough to go in and win. The upcoming schedule for Duke, this is the start of 3 games in 6 days that will culminate with Maryland coming to Cameron Indoor Stadium. They've also got Tennessee coming up on the road later this month, and then 2 games against North Carolina and 1 at Maryland in February. Emily Weiner. She was the trigger, really. She and her sister, when they hit those 3 threes in a row, sent a 1-point game in the first half to a 10-point lead for Duke. The Blue Devils haven't looked back from that. Final seconds as Duke improves to 16-0. Virginia Tech will fall to 10-7 on the season. Both clubs will gear up for midweek conference matchups. And then next Saturday, the Duke Blue Devils will be hosting the Maryland Terrapins in a rematch of their national championship game from a year ago. 86-54, the final. Duke a winner on the road at Virginia Tech. Back for more after this.
My neighbor drove all over town to find the best deal on a cell phone. I just logged on to Let's Talk. They make it easy to compare plans from all major carriers and find cell phone deals that are much cheaper than retail.
Like the hot Motorola Razr with Bluetooth technology, a $319 value, yours free after rebate with new singular calling plans.
Let's Talk has the best prices, the best plans, and the most free phones guaranteed.
Log on to 21letstalk.com or call now to order your free Motorola Razr. Let's Talk, the smart way to shop for cell phones. So log on or call now.
Working from home changed my life.
It all started when I was referred by this free service.
With all the money I made working from home, I bought a new home. This is the one website you have to visit.
Put your computer to work now.
All you need is a computer and a little belief in yourself.
I'm making $5,000 a month.
I make over $7,000 a month working part-time.
I love the lifestyle my home business offers, and the money's great too.
Log on to 11newfuture.com now.
The best damn sports show, period. Weeknights on FSN.
This presentation of ACC Women's Hoops on FSN has been brought to you by Gatorade, Chrysler Jeep, and by Chick-fil-A. 86-54, Duke a winner on the road here at Virginia Tech on ACC College Hoops. Lindsey Harding leading the way with 20 points. She had 4 rebounds and also had 5 assists and 2 steals. She is the Gatorade Player of the Game. And Harding doing it on the defensive end and then transitioning into offense. 20 points, 4 boards, 5 assists, a couple of steals. Our Gatorade Player of the Game is now standing by with Debbie Antonelli.
Well, thanks a lot, Beth. Well, Lindsey, congratulations on the win. Now, at some point, somebody was going to score more than 52 points against you guys. And Virginia Tech did today. They had 54, excuse me. Your defensive effort in the second half, what did Coach G say in the locker room that got you guys more engaged on the defensive end?
They were shooting a higher percentage than what we're used to, and we weren't playing the type of defense that we played this whole entire year. And so she just reminded us, this is what's got us here. This is why we were undefeated, is our defense. So we came out, and that was a focus.
When you guys have your defense cranking like that, it looks pretty easy on the other end. You got a lot of layups. If there's going to be somebody that's going to take those things away, where can you guys get better at executing on the offensive end?
I think just more so establishing our inside-outside attack. Keep getting it inside and moving the ball around, and make a few reversals. You get easy shots.
With Abby Wayner is able to score that easily, and you bring some balance to the perimeter as well. Today's post game, Allison Bale struggled a little bit, but you guys certainly picked up the scoring load for her. What can you do to help get Allison some easier shots on the inside?
Make our outside shots to make them come and guard us. No, just keep getting it into her, helping her get easier shots instead of making her make a move. Let me drive and penetrate and give her an easy layup to start her off.
Well, Lindsey, congratulations on the win and good luck against Georgia Tech this week. Coach Guest, of course, we're going to bring her in. Coach, you know, your defense has been so dominant all season. You did get your averages. You did have 13 steals. You forced 23 turnovers, but you didn't really look happy with your defensive effort. Why?
Well, because it wasn't very good, and that's the key word, is effort. I didn't think we were giving a great effort on the defensive end. I felt like the players, you know, I told them I think they've been reading their press clippings about their defense. They forget why we're good, and that's that we have great intensity and great focus and great energy. We didn't bring it here tonight. So, and I give Virginia Tech credit. You know, they put the ball down on the floor, they attacked us, and they made the extra pass once they drew help from Allie. We just didn't adjust.
There's a lot of people that think teams have to lose when they're playing at the top level to regain their focus. Do you think that's the case with your team? Because I think you're going to have their focus after today's game.
I think definitely we'll have their focus. You know, we'll break this tape down. They'll see once again on tape, you know, where we made all of our mistakes mentally and physically. And it'll make us tougher. It'll make us better.
Coach, thanks for joining us after the game. Congratulations on your win. Good luck. Duke will move on, stays one of the 3 undefeated teams in the country as the Blue Devils get the win 86-54. Beth, let's get it back over to you.
Thank you very much, Debbie. Duke getting the job done on the road, 86-54, the final back after this.
Viewer discretion advised.
Dawn. Are you all right?
Yes, Lucy.
Tuesday, all new Dirt.
I need a shot of Kira Clay for the cover.
She's dead.
I know, Dawn.
Dig deeper into the new FX original series.
You are a star now. If you don't start using your power, it'll be over.
So, essentially, I'm a booty call.
Yeah.
Wow, you're like a guy.
Oh, what, is it too hardcore for you?
This isn't Tiger Beat.
Who you working with?
I would.
Hey, you set me up with that skank.
You're bent.
Technically, I'm schizophrenic.
This girl's my next cover.
Courtney Cox stars.
We're in a war here. We've got one shot if we're lucky. If anyone gets onto this, we lose the whole story.
Dirt. All new Tuesday at 10, only on FX.
86-54, the final score. The Duke Blue Devils, a winner over Virginia Tech. Lindsey Harding and Abby Weiner leading the way with 20 points apiece. Don't forget our next presentation of ACC Women's Hoops. Tomorrow night, the second-ranked and undefeated North Carolina Tar Heels hosting the Virginia Cavaliers. For Debbie Antonelli, I'm Beth Bowen. So long from Blacksburg, Virginia. This has been a presentation of ACC Women's Hoops on FSN.
The best damn sports show, period. Weeknights on FSN.
The following is a presentation.
21-19. By the dynamic Armini Prize. The Rebels are 12-4, including 8-0 at home, and are trying to stay perfect at the Tad Pad. The SEC women take center stage as Vandy battles Ole Miss, and it's coming at you now.
Welcome to Oxford, Mississippi for a little Southeastern Conference women's basketball as the 11th-ranked Vanderbilt Commodores beat the 12-4 Ole Miss Rebels. So glad you could join us on this Sunday afternoon. And hello again, everybody. I'm Dave Neal alongside the coach, the legend, Van Chancellor. Glad you can be with us for some women's basketball. We have got a great matchup today because we have got two high-scoring teams, Coach. Two clubs, Vanderbilt and Ole Miss, rank in the top 5 in the country, over 82 points a game. I think we should see some offensive fireworks.
And when you look at these two teams today, they're the type of team that like to run up and down. They like to create a lot of offense with their defense. They change defenses, but this allows them to score a lot of points. What a great game we're going to have today.
Well, the Vanderbilt Commodores are off to their second-best start in school history. Only one loss to this point in the season. And, Coach, they have 3 seniors in the lineup, but 2 of them stand out. Dee Davis, Carla Thomas.
When you are going to build a championship team, you've got to start with a point guard, and I think Davis fits the bill. She leads the league in assists. She can penetrate. She's running her team, but then you got to look at Carla Thompson. Here's a player that's improved so much. She's gotten much better inside. I talked to Coach Balcom before the game. She's a low post presence. She can score from outside. That's why Vandy is the 11th ranked team in the country.
Well, they'll have a tough time today trying to slow down this Ole Miss team that is led by Arminty Price. There are a few players in the country that can do what Arminty does. She's already had a triple-double this season, Coach. She seems to get better night in, night out.
Yes, when you look at Price, she is Ole Miss. I've never seen one player influence a game like she did at Auburn Thursday night. She gets to the basket. She penetrates. Everybody says we're not going to let Price get to the hole, but she still does. She creates so much from what she does by drawing fouls, getting to the free throw line, and playing great defense. This is the kid that has 46 double-doubles in Ole Miss history.
Pretty impressive afternoon of basketball on the way. The Commodores among the elite in the country taking on the Ole Miss Rebels. Carla Thomas